So, you have a new show for me?
Yes, sir, I do. I was thinking we could do a Moon Knight series.
Oh, like a
goes.
prank show? What? You run around friggin' show your bare butt to Sir Patrick Stewart?
No.
Mooning Knights is tight.
I was thinking like a show about the Marvel
Mooning
character
Knights.
Moon Knight.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense. That's more on brand for us for sure.
Yeah, so we're gonna meet this British guy,
Yeah.
Stephen Grant, right? And he keeps blacking out and waking up in strange places.
Oh, been there.
But it turns out when he's blacking out, it's actually a split personality situation, and this guy Mark Spector's taken over.
Oh, so we're doing multiple
Spoiler
characters
alert.
played by the same actor?
Yeah, they're gonna be constantly talking to each
you
other,
haven't
interacting
seen
and
this yet?
stuff.
That never works.
Well, sometimes it works.
It's just weird to watch one guy interacting with himself. It doesn't cut together well. Nobody wants to watch that.
I mean, I feel like some people might.
All right, man. I guess we could give it a shot.
Okay, great. So anyway, it turns out this Mark guy is the avatar of Khonshu, the Egyptian god of the moon.
Okay.
And so he has the ability to summon this badass superhero suit and become the Moon Knight.
Oh man, I can't wait to see Moon Knight in action. And see him you will, sir. Oh boy.
For about 15 minutes on the whole runtime.
What?
Yeah, not a ton of Moon Knight in the Moon Knight show.
No.
He also does this thing where he blacks out before big action scenes and just kind of comes to with the aftermath.
Kind of want to see
Yeah.
those happen. Well, too bad.
All right. So anyway, Mark and Steven are gonna kind of bicker over who gets to control the body as they try to stop this bad guy, Harrow.
Harrow, huh? What's his deal?
Well, he wants to find this other god Amit's tomb so he can bring her back to life and she could kill anyone who has or will commit evil.
Yikes.
Yeah, and Steven sees that Harrow has this Amit-style tattoo on his arm, and he's doing that same thing already, judging people and killing them.
Big yikes.
So Steven's gonna team up with this woman, Layla, who's actually Mark's wife, and try to stop this guy.
Yeah, frickin' stop this guy. Sounds like a real jerk.
So eventually Khonshu brings them in front of all the other Egyptian gods to tell them about Harrow trying to find Amit's tomb.
Smart.
But then they bring Harrow in, and Harrow's like, actually, Khonshu isn't very nice, and Mark has mental health issues. So the gods are like, all right, well, Harrow's clearly done nothing wrong.
But that's it? They just believe him?
They
That's
just
it.
believe him. Yeah, that's right.
Why doesn't Mark make him show that magical Amit tattoo of his?
Unclear. So then all the avatars leave, but this one lady stays behind and gives Mark a hint about some other thing he can find that'll help him out.
Oh, very nice.
So him and Layla go on another little adventure, and eventually they find this star map that'll lead them to Amit's tomb.
Okay.
But this star map was made thousands of years ago, so Khonshu has no choice but to turn back the entire night sky to see what it looked like on that night.
I mean, they have like iPhone apps that let you do that.
Yeah, but he shifts massive celestial bodies instead of opening the App Store.
Wow, people must freak out.
Not really, no. This is
Instead.
the MCU. People see crazy stuff all the time.
That's a good point.
So anyway, then all the other gods punish Khonshu and imprison him inside a little Ushabti figurine.
Oh, dang it.
And so eventually Mark actually finds Amit's Ushabti, but Harrow pops out and shoots him dead.
Oh, that's fatal.
It is, except no, not really, because this is the MCU and death is rarely permanent.
That's another
Rarely,
good point.
that
So
is-
Mark wakes
yes.
up in this asylum-themed afterlife, and he finds Steven trapped inside a sarcophagus begging to be let out.
So that's what happens after you die.
Yeah, sometimes. So then they're walking around and they find another sarcophagus that somebody's trying to get out of.
Wow, so who's in there?
Well, at the very end of the show, we're gonna find out that there's actually a third personality inside the body named Jake Lockley.
They don't open it up? Mark just found Steven inside one of those. Aren't they curious?
No. Oh, okay. You know, they keep walking and they find a hippo.
What?
Yeah, it's this Egyptian goddess, and she brings them on a boat sailing through the afterlife.
Okay.
And she weighs their hearts to see if
Okay.
they're balanced and they can enter the field of reeds, which is like an eternal paradise kind of place, but their hearts aren't balanced.
So what do?
Well, Steven ends up sacrificing himself and turning to sand and being stranded in the Duat Desert so Mark can go to the field of reeds.
Well, what about that Jake Lockley part of them? Shouldn't he be involved in this calculation somehow?
Hey, shut up. So then Mark is in the field of reeds, but he's like, we gotta go back to Steven. We can't leave him lost in the sands
So quick.
forever.
Yeah, that'd be messed up.
But the hippo goddess is like, it doesn't work like that, Mark.
Oh, well, sounds like it's impossible to get him back then.
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
very easy,
Oh,
actually.
really? Yeah, because see, it immediately does work like that, Mark. Oh, yeah, he just kind of magically runs right back into the desert and finds Steven
Magically.
immediately, and then some gates open up and they go through.
Well, that worked out great.
It did, and then
Very
also
quickly.
Layla released Khonshu so Mark and Steven get their healing powers back.
How does she manage to free Khonshu?
Well, turns out all you have to do is smash the figurine and that does the trick.
Oh, nice.
But also Harrow has everything he needs to set Amit free now, so the other gods show up like, what is going on? Who could be doing this?
Do they not remember the meeting they just had about that?
Yeah, no, they forgot about that, I guess. So they're like, who could it be? And then Harrow kills them all.
Very rude.
So then Amit is released, and she's a very angry crocodile.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So she inhales a bunch of souls and becomes super huge. huge, and then Khonshu also becomes really big.
How?
By becoming really big. Yeah, so then there's gonna be this big final fight, and also Layla has powers too
I hated
now.
that scene.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, the hippopotamus gave her some bug wings.
This is a weird
Bug
show.
wings.
Kind of. So then Mark turns into Moon Knight and flies in to start kicking some butt.
He flies now?
He flies now. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. And then it seems like Harrow is gonna kill Mark and Steven and some bad guys shooting at Layla, but only on the shielded part of her body for some reason.
Uh-oh, so what's Mark gonna
For some
do?
reason.
He's gonna do what he does best, black out and take care of everything off screen. Yeah, so that's the big finale. We don't see what happens.
I kind of wanted to see it.
Well, too bad. So then they trap Ahmed inside of Harrow's body, because this way they could kill her.
Okay.
But then Mark and Steven decide not to do it.
What? Why not?
Because that's kind of a thing in movies and TV. The hero kills a bunch of people throughout the movie,
Yeah.
but then when it comes time to kill the big bad guy, they're like, no.
But this is a god that wants to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, and so then Khonshu lets Steven and Mark free because they had made a deal.
Oh, well, that's nice.
It is, but then in a mid-credit scene, we're gonna learn about that Jake Lockley guy, and Khonshu has him kill a bunch of hospital staff to get to Harrow and then kills him.
Khonshu has Jake kill a bunch of innocent employees.
He did, yeah. So what do you think?
Well, it sounds like a great show.
Amazing. So what are you thinking for casting? I was thinking Oscar Isaac for Moon Knight.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And for Layla,
we could slide into some DMs.
what?
Here we go. I heard this one is pretty brutal.
Marvel's used up their A-list characters, their B-listers, and the best available Chris list. But before the Fox reinforcements arrive, they're reaching way
Reinforcements.
down deep to dig up one last obscure hero. Let's see, what's left in here? Big Bertha? Nah. Hell Cow? Put her in the maybe pile. Oh, the guy with Egyptian magic. What's his name? White Batman? Moon Knight, yeah, that's
White
the guy.
Batman. Okay.
Don't know who Moon Knight is? Neither does he. Oscar Isaac stars as three personalities fighting for control of the same hot bod. One is Stephen Grant, a modern-day Londoner with the vibe of a Dickensian street urchin.
Only the worthiest would be allowed to pass through the field of reeds.
Is he really gonna do the whole show like that?
This is how I talk.
Ooh. The other is Mark Spector, a mercenary with the same tragic past as Dewey Cox.
Wrong.
And their third is Khonshu, an ancient Egyptian god who enslaves the MCU's first Jewish superhero. So I guess old habits die hard? Together, they'll drive his body around like a hot little clown car in an Oscar Isaac vehicle built for one purpose: huge acting choices.
Oh my God! You can't make me!
Now that's a death face right there. That's what you call Oscar Isaac. Mwah.
That's a death
You'd
face.
think Oscar would stay away from Egyptian comic book stuff after the last time.
Well, you know.
But this Giza's headed back to Giza for more Egypt tropes than a scarab pointing to the hieroglyphics on a pharaoh sarcophagus, as Moon Knight must race to find the magic something or other with the help of his wife Layla, a woman who knew all about his superhero side,
Some in the suit.
but nothing about his PTSD, family trauma, or the fact that he killed her dad. Classic Marvel couple. Together, they'll team up to defeat Jafarthur Harrow, Ethan Hawke phoning it in as a villain
Phoning
with the
it in.
power to be like super judgy.
You're a vegan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so am I.
No, not that judgy thing. The other one. The death one.
I wish you could live to see the world we make.
Are you ready for action? Moon Knight is it. Because when danger strikes, he blacks out. Ugh, this reminds me of when Four Loko was still legal. Instead of fighting, watch as the street-level hero gets bogged down by nonsense worthy of an Eternal.
You'd be surprised how many intersectional planes of untethered consciousness exist.
In a first half that's just bickering over who gets to be the main character.
Bodies. Give me the body.
Give me the body, Mark!
Give me the body.
You give me the body, and you piss off.
And a second half that feels like a janky rush to make up for lost time.
Your mind is violently vacillating between sense and nonsense.
Culminating in a finale that's Marvel's third kaiju ending. And fourth, hero meets alternative version of themselves ending in just this last year.
Just this last year.
I woke up here, and now I'm surrounded by variants of myself.
Peter 1, Peter 2,
Peter 2.
Peter 3.
Peter 3.
And who says they're running out of ideas and the genre is eating itself? Me. I say that.
Me.
So strap in for a series that may not have done justice to its amazing cast, may not have done justice to the subject matter of mental illness, and definitely didn't do justice to one of the coolest Marvel Comics characters ever. But the most hardcore MCU fans got what they were looking for. Someone trying to hide by wearing a plain baseball cap. Woo!
Yeah,
Cap confirmed.
That happened again.
Starring on the Moon Knight, I am Governor Bob's your uncle, Tyler Burden, Elion Hubbard, The Cursed Wives Club, Angry Birdman, Deity at Law,
10 points to Hippoglyph.
Killer Croc,
You think
Makes sense.
you own his body?
Republican,
Oh,
To me.
oh my God. Okay.
and I'm talking to the man in there. I'm asking him to change his ways. One flew over the Khonshu's nest.
That's a good one. I like that one. That's good.
Oh, so this is Eternal Paradise. It's nice. It's a bit boring though, isn't it?
Well, all right. I'll be honest. The honest trailer wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yes, there was a lot of things in there that kind of hit at some of the main gripes I saw about this show overall. I agree with some of them. I'll be honest. I agree with some of them. I did not like Layla's transformation, the whole scene of her showing her wings and looking directly in the camera. The kid saying, "Are you an Egyptian superhero?" Yes. That, like, we get it. Like, I understand, like, they have to put that stuff out sometimes, but it's still just like eye rolling. Like, okay, here we go. Didn't like those parts. I kind of liked that there wasn't a lot of Moon Knight in this show because the CGI was very questionable at some moments, but most of the show that I love was Oscar Isaac bickering with himself, and then kind of the teases of Jake Lockley. Where was he in certain episodes? Did he show up in certain scenes? Did he not? The questions there. It was fun. And the mystery of everything was great in this show. Like, when he did black out was great. Did I want to see some of the action more? Yes, because even the action with Moon Knight was okay. It was basic. There was nothing really special about it. So I wanted to see some better action from Moon Knight, but I kind of wanted to see at least one scene of the blackout and what actually happens in those action scenes. It would have been cool to see one, just to have a good idea of like what's actually going on. What's Jake doing? What's Mark doing? Whatever the case. But White Batman, I don't agree with that at all. I would probably say that, to be honest, Black Panther was more like Batman to me in a sense. I could see some of the similarities in the comics between like Stephen Grant and Bruce Wayne and then Moon Knight and Batman somewhat, but I don't know. I feel like he's more or less his own character, but I don't know if they did him justice, like Moon Knight, the actual character Moon Knight in this. It was more of a Stephen Grant, Mark Spector show with Jake Lockley showing up at the end and maybe certain scenes throughout. But yeah, I want to see him in a bigger light in either a movie or whatnot, because you don't get a lot of him here. But again, he wasn't my favorite part in the show. I wanted to see less and less of him because the dynamic between Mark Spector and Stephen Grant was so good, and Oscar Isaac was amazing in the show. I loved it. I thought he was great in the show. I love him as an actor too. I mean, he's really good in everything that he's in for the most part. So but I thought he really showed out in this show. Which of these two is your favorite though? The pitch meeting or the honest trailer? I love both. I got a few more bigger laughs in the honest trailer though, because they went at it in a different way. And some of it was kind of like, all right, I get it. You got to speak to what you saw on some message boards, things of that nature. Whereas the pitch meeting was more just formulaic with what happened throughout the show and added some of its own pieces in there as far as a comedy. But I don't know. I feel like honest trailer kind of hit a little more at aspects of the show that didn't work. Now, Ethan Hawke, I thought was great. I thought he was really good in the show. I don't see any issues there. The acting and the cast throughout, I thought was very, very well done. And then the way that the story went was somewhat WandaVision-esque in certain aspects, especially when they do the whole change up after, what was it, episode 4, when they're in the mental institution. I thought that was great too, how they went about that. It brought up more questions. The one thing I will say I did not like about the show overall, the one main thing, is just how every episode ended. It did end in a cliffhanger kind of way, but even the last episode ended that way, and it was weird. Even though you have the end credit scene finally, because this show didn't have any end credit scenes until the final episode. Yeah, I felt like every episode ended in this weird way. It felt like every episode just kind of abruptly ended. WandaVision had moments like that too, but you kind of understood what was happening in that show. This one, it just had way more questions. And so you didn't know what was going on because you don't know this character. A lot of us, anyway. We didn't read the comics to know much about this character. So watching the show is our first foray into his world and what it's all about. So, and there was a lot that they put into this with the gods and all that jazz. There was a lot they put in this, and it seems like they're going to kind of feed off of this in future movies for other characters and TV shows and things of that nature. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they've grown the world or the universe as far as the MCU with all of this. I'm excited overall. I enjoyed the show. It's fun to watch. I watched a lot of the episodes multiple times, so I really did enjoy it. There's just a few little nitpicks in there, but the honest trailer, I might get the win for me here because of how I went about it. I didn't think it was that bad, but they hit on some more things I didn't really like about the show than Pitch Meeting did. But Pitch Meeting was very funny too. So overall, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which one did you prefer, Pitch Meeting or Honest Trailer? Which one gets your vote today? Thanks for watching. I know it's been a minute. I appreciate you guys checking this out. Thanks to some of you for checking on me and just, seeing how if everything's okay. Everything's fine. Just work has been taking up a lot more of my time, unfortunately, but things are going to change there. I'm getting another job. I'm starting next month. So look for uploads to get back to normal. For the most part, we're going to kind of do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday situation for uploads. And then I might sprinkle in some other ones throughout the week there as well. But getting back to it as I can. I wanted to start with Moon Knight since I watched that. I'm going to do Morbius too. That'll be coming up probably next week. So look for that. I haven't seen the movie yet. I want to watch the movie first, but I watched the end credit scenes because I just didn't care. I did see those. So I want to do the verses on that pretty soon too. So look out for that coming up. Also, we'll do a Mission Impossible since Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 trailer came out and it looks amazing. So we'll do a versus reaction for Honest Trailer and Pitch Meeting on Mission Impossible as well. So look for that too, because I want to have some fun with all of that. So again, appreciate you guys, members, subscribers, watchers, however you support. Love you guys. Thank you so much. If you're a watcher and not subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below, and everybody hit that like button as well. Other than that, I will see you guys on the next video, and I hope you have yourselves a great rest of the day. Take care.